And one of the things you mentioned pattern interrupts. One of the things I noticed is, we call these a short 4-minute video, but in the modern world, 4 minutes is not a short video, it's kind of a long video, and it can be a challenge to keep people engaged in your video. And the last thing you want is some human resource manager pressing stop until they've seen it. So what were some of the strategies you used to try to keep the viewer engaged?
That's actually a really good point that you brought up, the 4-minute versus, being 4-minute being a long form. I believe, and I know from research and work that I do every day in the marketing industry, it's not about just the length of the content, it's about the context to the content as well. And if you can have context to the content, then people will watch it all the way through. If the guys who make Star Wars release or the Lord of the Rings release a 4-hour movie, I'm sure a lot of people go and watch 4 hours of it. It's keeping people interested all the way through. So pattern interrupts is something that you mentioned, is how can you add that into your video so that you're keeping them engaged all the way through. A pattern interrupt is literally what the word means. You're interrupting a pattern. When you're watching a piece of content, as a viewer, you're expecting what's going to happen next. That's what we do. Human beings analyze similar situations and they predict. They're a predictive system, right? And they predict that, okay, this is going through like this, and this is probably what's going to happen next. But if you pattern interrupt that with something that's humorous or something that's, gets them excited or surprises them.
Say, for example, you leave the room and go out to some big wall.
And so in my video, I wanted to make a point about, this quote that has driven me through my career in my life, which is people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. Right. And I almost want to make a point. And I knew that if I sat there and I just said, this is something that's really impactful for me, and people will be like, yeah, cool, that's cool, it's impactful for you, but I don't care. And I wanted to make them care about it, and that was a way to create a pattern interrupt.
CMA Next. Find your path, find what's next.